This is Will.
This is Alex.
Welcome back to another episode of They Mostly Come Out of It. Welcome back, everyone. That's right.
That's right.
We back. It's Sunday.
Your favorite day, Sunday or Tuesday?
The Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowel?
Superb
Bowel
Owl.
Movement?
This is the superb bowel movement, yes.
Wow.
Leo Fong really did us in.
Leo Fong is...
I was referencing What We Do in the Shadows, but you are right. This is a super bowel movement. Super bowel movement. This is what this movie is. Because holy shit. Before we get to it, we're reviewing Blood Street tonight.
Blood Street.
A Leo Fong joint.
Look, it's on YouTube. If you want to watch it, look it up on YouTube.
Anyway, go like, comment, subscribe. Really helps out the podcast. Listen to us on Spotify. All the big ones. Really helps us out if you rate us. Comment. We do...
Share with people.
Share with your friends if you like us, do all that fun stuff. It really helps us out, and we appreciate it, and we just appreciate you listening if you're just doing that.
Mm-hmm.
We do recommendations every 5 episodes, so get those in.
Yeah.
We have an ever-growing list, so please get those in, and we will get to them as soon as we possibly can. Let's talk about Blood Street, the follow-up to the much anticipated follow-up to...
Everyone was looking forward to this.
Everyone's favorite martial arts film, Low Blow.
This is our third film with Leo Fong, who is...
This is his... not his directorial debut, because I think I don't know. I didn't look into it. But he did direct this. He wrote it. And he produced it.
I think this had like 3 writers.
He's like a triple threat. I don't know how it had 3 writers, because there's barely a story.
3 writers to stitch the 3 movies together.
The 3 separate movies that was going on in this one movie.
He is the peak quintessential action uncle because he's just so deeply uncool. But,
so uncool, in fact, that you can't put him on the posters of your movie.
Yeah, because on Low Blow, it's just some random guy who looks like...
With a giant, like a mega fist.
Yeah.
Like he looks like, if you've ever seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, he looks like the
Mark Hamill's,
the cock knocker or whatever it's called, where he has the giant fist and that's all he does is like punch people in the balls.
That's basically what Low Blow is.
Yeah, he's the cock knocker. Yeah.
This movie poster has Richard Norton, who is the villain in this.
I like how they put him on the poster like he's the hero.
And it's his name on the poster,
Well,
too.
and they also put spoiler alert, they also put what becomes the
true mastermind.
The woman
Yeah.
on the poster, because you think she's... Because he's playing a private eye.
Yeah.
He says dick a lot in this movie.
He has so many dick puns.
So many dick jokes. Because Leo Fong is a child, apparently.
I love it. I love it.
And she, so she hires him to find her husband, but she was, double-crossing everyone, obviously, so.
That's the big kaboom at the end.
I'm convinced this movie, we'll get into it, obviously, we're gonna, break it down, but, I'm convinced this movie, Leo Fong was watching, Double Indemnity or something like that.
Well... Or
Maltese Falcon or Casablanca. He was watching one of those movies.
Humphrey Bogart is featured in this. He has a poster of him in his office.
When there's the femme fatale. Yeah. There's he does the hard boiled PI dick
as he walks the streets.
Narration. It's so blatantly we know what he's trying to go for, and I love it because he fails at every single chance he gets in this movie.
It's amazing.
And the fact that film noir is really cool and kind of grungy and there's something about it where you watch it and you're just it's really just it's cool and it's grimy and it's streety and it's there's a lot to like about it. This is trying to do that and failing at every single chance he gets, because it's trying to like do this like stylish thing, and like, there's no style to it, no functionality. There's barely a fucking plot. Like,
Who needs style?
there's barely anything stitching this together.
Who needs style when everything in your movie is just as blunt as a hammer to the face?
Well, because also, if you break it down, this movie is just like literally Liu Fang going up to people, punching them in the face,
That's not most of the
getting
movie.
a little bit of information, and then going and beating up more people.
Yes.
That is literally like what happens in the movie.
A good chunk of the movie is also just a series of two guys who show up to hassle Liu Fang, and he beats them up, shoots them, or either beats them up or shoots them.
Yeah, two guys specifically.
It's always two guys.
Every single time, it's always two guys.
And a half the movie is a series of those scenes of just two guys who get annihilated. Most of them get killed.
Yes.
Liu Fang just eventually kills like half of San Francisco in this movie, and it's fine. Like, no one really seems to care other than when he's framed.
Oh, and lots of dick jokes. Lots of
Private dick.
Private dick.
This dick don't come cheap.
My dick is hard. This dick comes with a lot of fees. This dick don't play games. You know, shit like that. I don't think that's an actual line, but it's hilarious.
Well, so there's this. The thing that sets it off is.
Well, because we get a scene of him just throwing away bills.
Yeah.
There's overdue bills, and then a woman walks in.
And immediately he's like, I was struck by her, all 5 feet 10 inches of her, and like the camera like does the slow pan
from her
up.
legs all the way up to her head.
And she wants him to find her missing husband, and the whole scene is loaded with dick jokes. Loaded with dick
Well, because he
puns.
keeps saying he's a dick, right? Because he's
dick.
a private dick. He's a private investigator. And she even like is like, well, let me give you like an upfront payment, and takes off the top of her blouse.
And he says, I don't do mountain climbing.
And
he
like puts his hand in the claws.
To like he's going to grab her hoo-has will. And...
But we're trying to establish that he's a good guy, okay?
Well, he won't take sex for payment.
Yeah.
Either before or after.
Which, good on you.
Yeah.
You know, good on you.
Because this movie is so deranged that, I would not have been surprised if he did. But then he didn't.
No, I wouldn't have been surprised either, to be honest.
But the rest of the movie is completely insane.
Because, I mean, in Low Blow, he's like this grungy, grimy, disgusting... fucking private
His
eye.
office in Low Blow has like food wrappers everywhere. In this movie, he cleans it up a bit.
In Low Blow, he's a piece of shit.
He also can't park in Low Blow. In this movie, he learns how to park.
What's crazy in Low Blow is he also has like a fucking like secretary that he disrespects on a constant basis, and he doesn't do that in this.
Yeah, he has no secretary. It's just him.
This has very actually no, not
He
almost
does have
nothing. This has like pretty much zero to do with Low Blow.
What could you possibly have to do with Low Blow?
I don't know. It's just the same guy.
Because Low Blow was also just, he gets hired to do a thing.
The cult thing, yeah.
And he does the thing. And in this movie, he gets hired to do a thing.
And he does the thing.
And he does the thing. What do you need?
You don't need much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you need in life? All you need is Bloodstreet.
So he starts investigating, and we get a series of him just going to fucking bars and beating people up.
He orders a Shirley Temple, gets hassled, beats everybody up, murders somebody.
Shows picture to a lot of people. They tell.
This movie is also set. So it was made in 1988. It's set in 1990, and this movie says that in 1990. The city's a war zone of drugs.
Which is
not
funny.
That you'd ever notice watching this.
Which is funny, yeah, because it's supposed to be this war zone, but no war zone even happens.
There's like one scene where you see a guy like making a drug deal, and then he goes up to two other guys, and they're like, sell me the drugs.
Yeah, but then that guy gets shot immediately.
After they like go back and forth, and he's like, okay, I'll get the drugs. I'll be right back. And he's like, no, you won't. And he shoots him.
Yeah, he gets shot immediately.
That's like the most you get of like, ooh,
But you would think it would be like
this is so the city's dangerous.
The way to describe it, it's like Escape from Los Angeles, where it's like fucking just chaos incarnate.
Yeah, that's what they want you to believe.
But it's just normal day fucking 1988 San Francisco.
Yeah, they have like that one scene where they just filmed this like plaza at like 6 a.m. before everyone got to work.
Yeah.
To make it look deserted.
So we also get a feud between this guy named McDonald.
No, it's MacDonald, because they make it a point to split the Mac and the Donald.
Yeah, but everyone calls him McDonald.
Well, they're stupid. They're stupid and they're wrong.
MacDonald and this Australian guy, I can't remember his name.
Starts with a B. Like Boyd or something. But it's him. They're the two drug
kingpins.
Whatever. And there's a feud between them.
And there's these two other guys that are trying to make their way up the chain.
MacDonald is the missing husband.
Yes.
That the woman's looking for. And there's multiple scenes of this. Multiple scenes. Where our man, Leo Fong, is like, why is this guy a drug dealer? His wife is so hot. Why is he a drug dealer?
Like, he shouldn't be a drug dealer. He should just want to bang his wife all the time.
That comes up multiple times as him just being like, what is his problem? And I love that. Because that is so childish.
He's chasing all these drugs when he should be chasing his wife's tail.
Exactly. But he's missing for something.
So he starts investigating, and he finds this guy at. We're just gonna kind of fast track it because it's a lot of just like random fight scenes. So he finds the guy at like a massage parlor, right? He finds. So she's looking for MacDonald, and he's at a massage parlor because he loves women. He's like a womanizer.
He's hiding there, basically.
Yeah, because one of the first scenes is like. He's having like an orgy, basically.
Oh, you mean the opening of the movie?
Yeah, and
so the opening of the movie is nonsense because it's like a big orgy where no one's actually kissing. They're all just kind of breathing on each other, and a bunch of
they're pressing their mouth. There's no kissing, but they're pressing their mouths to each other.
Hey, God forbid they kiss. Guys like with guns and masks pop in and start shooting, and they do the credits and they freeze frame on people dying, and half the time
it is hilarious because it's like if you've ever sat down to watch a movie and like accidentally paused it at like awkward scenes.
That's the whole scene.
Every freeze frame is an awkward scene.
My favorite is there's one freeze frame of a guy getting shot on the couch and there's a woman next to him who's like laying down and she's smiling. But they shoot up this place and they somehow don't kill MacDonald.
I don't understand how, but anyway, he's at a massage parlor now because
he smacks women around a lot.
He's a womanizer, and the guys that are trying to make their way up don't like that he abuses women.
Yeah, it's two guys. It's a dad and his son.
Yeah.
And they work for MacDonald, but you can tell they're not happy with him because of one scene where MacDonald smacks a woman.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, if you ever do that again, I'll make you pay.
Yeah, exactly. Because they want to like run the drug operation themselves.
Yeah.
So he finds MacDonald and then tells the woman, and she's like, okay, well, I didn't know he was doing that, but then he thinks something fishy is going on. Because she's like not surprised.
Yeah.
Right, and she's not doing anything about it. So push comes to shove, MacDonald dies. He gets shot in the head.
Off screen.
And then he goes back to the woman, and she has like, I know I'm going through this real quick, but there's nothing here.
We'll discuss individual scenes later.
So finds like a necklace that has a key on it that MacDonald was wearing that she had.
And he calls his hacker buddy.
Hacker man.
And he tells him to look up all the information.
I don't even think he was on a computer.
No, he was on a computer. He had a computer in front of him.
But there's a lot of clicky clackies.
Well, he's just smashing the keyboard.
He's smashing the keyboard like it's an episode of like CSI or something.
But he tells him to look up all the financial records of the woman.
And there's two accounts she has. There's an account for MacDonald and an account for Boyd or whatever his name is.
And so he goes to
MacDonald
and gets. They don't actually tell you this. You just have to kind of figure it out.
It's like a security, like a deposit box.
But it's full of money.
Yeah, so he stuffs the money in an Everlast fucking
boxing, like a
sandbag.
A punching bag.
Yeah. A sandbag, and hides it there. And there's a series of just him getting hustled for where the money is because they know he took the money.
Yeah, so Boyd is hassling him for money.
Because he took the woman's necklace and she's working with Boyd.
There's also a whole thing where they frame him for the murder of MacDonald.
But it goes nowhere because he gets out almost immediately.
They bail him out immediately, but Boyd and his crew know that he got bailed out.
Yeah.
And they're still like, it's fine. He'll go to jail for the rest of his life. While Liu Fong is jogging around San Francisco, getting hustled and murdering men in broad daylight.
Yeah. Oh, and saying lines like, if you came here to get some ass, you're in the wrong place. But if you came here to
get an ass kicking,
you came to the right place.
I love how
almost no style and no fucking charisma whatsoever.
That scene had a lot of style. Because
Liu Fong is like anti-charisma.
No. That's where you're wrong, because that scene had a lot of style when he was murdering the two men, and it kept cutting to the freaking Boyd and everybody else having a conversation, and then it would cut back to him murdering two guys in the street.
I just love when they confront him. He just like stands there with like his arms at his side, not like ready to fight or anything, just arms at his side. He looked like he was like so bored.
That's how he gets them.
Yeah.
That's how he makes them think they can kick his ass.
Liu Fong knows the way.
He knows the way.
He manipulates them into thinking they're safe.
He Liu Fong mind tricks them.
That he's just this helpless man, this helpless uncle.
And then they approach him, and he turns him into a stuffed doll and throws him off a roof.
Opens up a can of whoop ass. And then anyway, eventually he gets his lawyer to recruit
a guy,
like a guy that likes killing people, and he's going to infiltrate Boyd's fucking sanctum. And so they go in there and they fucking murder everyone.
You find out that the woman's been double crossing everybody.
Well, there's that dirty cop.
Yeah.
So the one that like accused him of murder is a dirty cop that's working with Boyd, who wants all the money. She's trying to take all the drugs for herself, the woman, the femme fatale. And Boyd is like, masterminding it all, and they eventually get to where Boyd is getting in an elevator, and fucking Liu Fong shoots him in the fucking elevator, and he's like going down, and then like he takes 5 years to die,
and then he takes they arrest the femme fatale, and then Liu Fong has a very wholesome ending. And then another woman comes up to him, like, I got a job. I need your help. And he just looks at the camera and shrugs and smiles.
And then the end credits are telling where every single fucking person is from.
Yes. So it says, like, Liu Fong, Stockton, California.
And then
Richard Norton, Melbourne, Australia, like, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. One guy's from, like, Germany. One guy's from... There's a lot of people from, like... California, and then one from Washington, D.C.
Let's talk about individual scenes, Will.
You mean scenes where just two guys walk in and Liu Fong just awkwardly punches them or shoots them?
Well, I love the scene in the bar in the very beginning when they make fun of his Shirley Temple, and he beats them up, and then he seemingly murders a guy in the bar.
Yeah.
By, like cutting his throat.
But he's supposed to be a good guy.
And then I also love there's another bar fight later when he literally kills a guy on camera by throwing a dart at his head.
Yes.
It impales him right in the brain, Will.
And a lot of these guys are just like bystanders. They just...
No, he was fighting him.
Well, in the first scene, there's two guys that just kind of laugh at him for like ordering a Shirley Temple.
You're not a bystander if you laugh at Will. How dare you?
He doesn't drink alcohol. Don't laugh at it.
Well, yeah, the guy's like, "Hi, let me fix this up for you," and then he pours the drink, pours his.
But that's the guy that that's like the father and son.
Yeah.
That's like the guy. That's our introduction to the son.
Yeah.
Of the father and son that are trying to take over the drug trade, which they do for a split second.
Well, there's
we can
also...
talk about that scene where they finally take over the drug kingpin, and then they're like, okay, meet here, and they meet and just awkwardly shoot each other in this like.
Don't forget the lead up to that where everyone's at a nightclub.
Yeah.
And two guys in masks and bathrobes show up, shoot some people.
And that's where we also figure out that MacDonald is dead. Even though we didn't see anyone kill him, we didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Well, because later at the end of the movie, you find out that the woman shot him.
Well, yeah, because she admits it, but you don't know that, and you just see him dead, and it's like
they shoot up the club, and then they run away and get almost run over by a car, and none of that's ever mentioned again. But apparently, during this, they get the stuff.
They get the drugs.
So they apparently stole the drugs.
So they want a deal, and so they go to this like construction. And it's like this weird.
It's like a bunker, like a World War II bunker.
It's like a bunker near Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, because this is surprisingly shot on location in San Francisco,
just like Lobo.
Yep. And so they have like the most awkward shootout where none of the sounds that the guns are supposed to be making sound like they're coming from the guns, because they're not.
That's every shootout.
It's just stock audio.
That's literally every shootout in this movie.
Because it's like they're using Uzis, but it's like a sound from a pistol.
A pistol, yeah. It's great.
So like they don't match it up at all, and it sounds fucking awful and looks awful.
It's amazing.
And
it looks amazing. The shootout is amazing. I love that they just show up. They're getting into this deal, and a shootout happens, and then the two guys trying to take over the drug trade both get blasted away, and then that goes nowhere.
Well, everything is so quick, right? Like, everything just happens. Like, people take control and then immediately lose the control, because Leo Fong is a terrible writer and has no idea how to get from point A to point B. He's just like, well, let's just have them be dead.
Like, because the whole thing that starts this is that they keep talking about how there's a shipment coming in tomorrow night or whatever. And so it goes to like, it shows like a parking lot where they put a sign above it that says U.S. Customs.
Yep.
And like a freaking dingy van pulls up, and four guys in like Spirit Halloween hazmat suits come out.
And they put the cardboard boxes into the
and
fucking
they specifically
car.
said that the stuff, the cocaine, is coming in boxes marked powdered milk. So there's like 2 boxes with that on it, but they stuff every box in the van, and then 2 guys show up and blast them while Boyd is watching the whole thing go down.
What's funny is you never get that cliche scene where they like test the cocaine, right? Like there's no like powdered sugar or anything like that.
None.
You don't even see the cocaine. You just see cardboard boxes. That's all you get.
You see the box. That's all you get. There's also where the one scene where Leo Fong and the girl, they go to, it's like a underground cage fight that Boyd is having in his like
it's just
office.
These big dudes awkwardly hitting each other in this like a small cage in the middle of like a lobby,
and that's where he finds out about the incoming drugs.
Well, because he spies on them.
But then the father-son duo show up. They shoot a guy for his DoorDash order. And this is just the guy who shows up and puts like a bag down, and he's like, is that the stuff? He's like, yeah. And then immediately they show up and kill him.
Well, they're like, we're in charge now.
Give us the stuff. And then somebody busts into the office cage fighting thing, shoots some people off camera, and then Leo Fong takes out his little shotgun, shoots them off camera, and leaves. And you're meant to assume that he killed whoever was doing the shooting. None of this makes a fucking single amount of fucking sense. Shit just happens.
It just happens. Like, this movie is just like stuff that happens. There's like a very thin like through line.
Barely.
Through the entire thing, because it's like just a drug war, basically. That's the entire plot. That's like what it hinges on, is a drug war. And Leo Fong just gets caught up in the middle of it. and that's it.
Or the rant in the middle of the movie, we get a flashback. So the thing that kicks it off is that they're doing their little Leo Fong is driving around town narration thing, and he's like, "I'm a single adult male." I had a wife once.
What a way to put it.
And she left me, and I had a daughter, and she died, and the whole time they're doing like the happy jazz music, and it's like, okay. And then it cuts back to 4 years earlier
in Texas. And Leo Fong has a martial arts studio in his living room.
And
with 3 dudes.
His daughter's going on a date, and they leave.
A sensitive art major.
And they leave like a restaurant, and 2 guys see them, and one of them's like, "Hey, isn't that the daughter of the guy who put you in jail?" Yeah.
What a way to what a line.
Screenwriting is my passion.
That reminds me of the Madam Web. I know it's an old meme by now, but like that whole my mom was killed while researching spiders in the Amazon, or whatever the fuck she says.
Even that's better than this.
I know.
Then they knock out the boyfriend, and then they grab the woman, and they're like, "Where's your dad?" She's like, "My dad." And the guy he does this stupid pose.
He puts his fist right next to his cheek and walks. And,
yeah, your dad
walks towards the camera,
and it cuts to just her on the ground, dead, and cops are there. And then Leo Fong shows up, and she's dead. And then he talks to a prosecutor, and the prosecutor's like, "Well, he went to Mexico, so there's nothing we can do.
Yeah,
you have to take the law into your own hands." Which I've never seen a movie where because this is classic, right? The whole "I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do," and then they're always like, "Well, I guess I'll have to do it myself." And then the person's like, "No, you cannot take the law into your own hands."
I love and then inevitably the prosecutor's just take the law into your own hands.
But in this movie, the only movie where the prosecutor is like, "You know what? Go take the law into your own hands."
So he goes and beats the guy to death.
So he goes to Mexico, and you see him wandering around the streets of Juarez, Mexico, and then he walks into a bar and just knocks out 6 guys like a video game, just one after the other, like a pinball, kaboom, 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 kaboom. And then he beats the shit out of the guy who killed his daughter, and then flashback ends.
Yeah, and there's no signifier of when it ends. It just goes back to him talking to the woman.
Yeah, they're at a restaurant, and that's it. And then that scene also leads to more amusement, because a guy in the restaurant is watching them, and then they leave, and he drives after them, and you get an awkward scene where there's a guy with a camera.
I still do not get this scene.
There's a guy with the camera in the back seat of the car following them.
Yep,
and he looks at Leo Fong just kind of staring at the guy. And then it goes back to the guy driving the car, and you see an Uzi pointing at Leo Fong.
For a millisecond.
For a fucking millisecond.
and then Leo Fong does this turn. It's not Leo Fong in the car, but a stunt guy does a turn in the car.
And Leo Fong takes out his shotgun.
He leans out the door and takes his shotgun and blasts the guy in the car, and then just slowly drives by the dead body.
And then they go to McDonald's townhome.
Yes.
And there's a gardener there, and they're like, "Where's McDonald's house?"
She's like, "It's up there."
And then they go there, and then the woman...
this is how the woman knows he's cheating on her.
Yeah, because she's throwing underwear at Leo Fong. Look at this. Look at this.
But we know, by the end, we know she's just putting on a show because she's double-crossing everyone.
And then 2 guys show up. Yeah. Again. 2 guys. And...
they kill the gardener.
Well... First, Leo Fong shoots 2 guys. They're leaving, and then you see that the gardener has these garden shears that she's using the whole time.
They cut her,
and it implies that they cut her throat with the garden shears.
But there's this just a little tiny line of fake blood across her neck.
There's this tiny little baby scratch on her neck.
They killed her. I do love when the first time they go into McDonald's massage parlor when he slaps the woman. Or no, it's when Leo Fong goes in. The receptionist is like, "No, we don't have any donkeys here."
That's how the scene starts.
Yeah. no, we don't have any donkeys here.
Yeah.
And then hangs up, and Leo Fong enters, and then he like goes, and there's a woman blocking his way, right?
And he just manhandles her away.
He just is like,
He doesn't
hey,
punch her.
he just pushes her out of the way, and then goes to the next guy, and he's like, here, can you hold my hat for me? And the guy's like, sure. And he blasts him, and the hat flies up and lands on Leo Fong's head. You can't make this shit up, dude.
Oh my god!
I also love the part when he's investigating. This is the part of the beginning of the movie. Where he's investigating the orgy thing, right? And so he's like looking at all the detectives are around, like looking at all the evidence.
The Blair Witch.
Yes, and he's like, I
gotta go to the throne.
I gotta go to the throne because he's a hard-boiled detective. He says cool shit like that, okay? Even though that's not
the bathroom.
Even though that's not cool at all, he says cool shit like that, okay? So he goes into the bathroom and awkwardly doesn't unzip. He goes and stands in
corner.
Blair Witches in the corner next to the toilet,
and you
hear a little trickle sound.
They play the trickle sound
for like
effect.
2 seconds,
and then he walks back and finds like a matchstick or something.
I think that's where he found the massage parlor.
Yeah,
match.
He finds like a matchstick and then just leaves. But I love like he just walks in, not unzipping, not doing anything. Just walks in. They play the audio of the water trickling. And then he turns around, sees the thing, and just walks out without even washing his hands or zipping up, nothing.
Because he's disgusting.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
No fucking extras, no nothing.
He's a single male adult, okay? He can do what he wants.
Oh my god.
There's just so much random shit that happens in this movie. Like, again, after the massage parlor, after like MacDonald dies and he takes the money, it's literally just scene after scene of two guys hassling him, then getting their asses kicked or killed.
Yeah, at this point, usually they get like murdered.
Over and over again. It just happens over and over again until the end.
Yep.
And I literally, this movie's only like an hour and 20 minutes long or something like that. It felt longer because like that, it dragged. Like... when they had nothing to do, it dragged so bad because it was just the same scene over and over.
But those scenes were amazing.
Were they?
Yeah. I love how basic they were. I love how blunt.
This movie is very blunt, and it's very, like, just, I don't know, to the point
like
of
just
where
two guys, give us the money. I don't know what you're talking about. Give us the money. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's it.
We'll kick your ass. He kicks their
ass. Or I'll kill you, and then...
Or one of the scenes, like, they show up at his office, and they were like, give us the money. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And they shoot his furniture, Will. And he's like, okay.
But not him for some reason.
He's like, okay, hold on. And then he takes out a shotgun and blasts one of them.
It's one of those movies where, like, literally at any point, if it was, like, a real thing, he would just be dead, and, like... But, like, obviously the movie has to happen. But, like, he could die at any point. Like, he could have literally died at any time in this movie. Like,
yes.
But they, like, hesitate so much to shoot him because of the plot armor, obviously. But, like, it's just, like, not even a scene where, like, he could dodge the bullet. Like, it just, literally, if the person just pulled the trigger, dead.
There's also the amazing scene where he goes to the bank, gets the money out of the safe deposit box.
Oh, and she's like, it says Mrs.
No, she says, this is for MacDonald. And he's like, I had a name change. And then she's like, but it says Mrs. MacDonald. He's like,
it's a big change.
And then she's like, okay.
Sure.
Lets him in. He gets the money, and he's leaving. And again, two goons immediately just walk up to him. And
where's the money?
No, they don't even say a word. They just walk up to him, and he just kicks one of them, and then picks the other one up, and you see him like carry him off camera, and it holds like an empty shot for like 2 seconds, and then it cuts to a dummy being thrown over a building.
Oh, that's right. And then he like leans under his car and he shoots a guy in the leg.
He shoots his
foot off. And you just hear this muffled like screaming like, "Oh, you shot my foot. You shot my foot. I can't believe you."
Fuck you.
You shot my foot. And then he drives off.
Because all the audio in this is like live audio, and I do mean live audio.
Yeah, they just had a microphone. They didn't like ADR any of it.
They capture everything. Like there's a scene where he's like asking somebody, he literally just two guys do a drug deal. He stands in the background. He walks up to the guy, and he's just like, "Where's this guy?" He's like, "I don't know. I was just talking about, man. Fuck you." And then he punches him and shows him a picture. And then the guy's like, "I don't know." And then he punches him again, shows him the picture again, and then you hear an airplane like fly passing over.
You can hear, when the airplane passes, you hear nothing.
And then he knocks the guy out and walks away.
Sorry, everyone. Microphone problems. If you heard me dip a little bit in the past, we're back though. So
yeah, they thought they got us.
They thought they got us. Anyway, what I was gonna say is after that airplane thing, I'm convinced that like every single fucking thing in this movie is just a single take. They didn't edit anything.
Well, there is one scene where someone says a line and it's not quite grammatically right, and I mean that it gives off that impression.
Well, like all they did was like edit the scenes together, right? Like that is like the only editing they did at all, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like fancy like cuts. There's nothing. There's no transitions.
Oh, honey.
There's nothing. It's just like hard cuts, and like some of the hard cuts are fucking hilarious because they'll just like cut like mid like firefight or like mid like guy yelling something. And they'll just like immediately go back to fucking just nothing.
I do also like the scene where MacDonald is having some sort of business meeting in a restaurant.
Yes.
With a bunch of people. And it just like cuts to him telling the end of a joke.
Yes.
And some guy walks in, takes off his sunglasses, and is like, "I got a message." And just takes out a gun and shoots one of them.
What's hilarious
and they gun him down, and that is never... Who is he?
It's funny because he's actually the fight coordinator.
Yeah.
If you watch till the end, on the
end credits.
Yeah, the post credits, they literally like name drop him, and like it's a scene of him having extra dialogue, and I don't know.
In the movie.
It's not in the movie. I also love the guy at the end with like the shootout. The guy that's always wearing the like Chinese lettering like shirt. When he comes in and he thinks he's got a one up on Leo Fong and like his veteran friend who loves to kill people. Have we gone over him yet?
Well,
so there's just the lawyer hires a guy that
he tells him, "Give me two good men."
Yeah, he's like, "Okay, I need two good guys," and the lawyer's like, "Yeah, I got you. Don't worry."
And then he brings him like this guy and himself.
Yeah, so it's like a veteran that like has like done like
nine tours in Vietnam, and he's like
loves to kill people.
Well, he's telling him, he's like, "This is so and so. He's at Green Beret. He did 9 tours," and Leo Fong's like, "That's insane." And the guy's like, "I love killing." Like he just, and he's like, "That's crazy." Where's the second guy?
I love when that guy gets shot. He's just like, "Can I kill more people?
Did I kill him?
Did I kill him?"
Yeah.
And then he's like, what does he keep repeating to himself?
I'll be okay.
I'll be okay.
I'll be okay.
I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
And there's no, and you know what? He will be okay because there's no concern.
But anyway, so this buff guy, right, gets the drop on him, and he's like behind Leo Fong because he's confronting Boyd, and he's like, "Ha, I got you now," or something like that, and Leo Fong immediately turns around, blasts him, and he's just dead.
There's also like the part where there's Boyd has this woman working for him, and she is following Leo Fong up these stairs and is about to get a drop on him.
We get like one scene of her hassling a bartender.
Yeah, she wants him to buy the drugs from them because McDonald's out of the game, and he's like, "This is like, I don't like what you're doing." Like
he's like, "Fuck you.
You have a bad deal, whatever. I don't need you." And then she's leaving, and then she takes out a gun and off camera shoots the bartender in a fully crowded bar.
Listen, war has broken out on the streets.
It's a war zone, okay?
It's the near future. The war has broken out. It's a war zone.
It's chaos.
It's lawless. You can do whatever you want.
Clearly, I believe it.
Even though there's only like 3 cops in the entire movie.
Yeah, and one of them's dirty.
Yeah. In San Francisco, of all places.
One of them's is dirty, and that goes barely anywhere. And then Yeah, they try to frame Leo Fong for a murder. Goes nowhere. That's never brought up other than Boyd bringing it up.
Can we also appreciate how progressive Leo Fong is?
Oh.
Because at the end when he's like, San Francisco's a nice place. It's some place
I do like that.
Where
I do like that after you sit through all this garbage, okay? All this stupid shit.
San Francisco's a really nice place.
That it has like the most wholesome ending narration imaginable.
It's the kind of town where you can settle down and raise a family.
Like a man and a woman can settle down and raise a family.
Or a man and a man.
A man and a man can raise a family.
A woman and a woman
can raise a family.
And then
that's the narration.
He's like, you know what? I'm gonna continue whatever, and like the woman shows up.
I just hope she doesn't have another missing husband.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I need help. And then he just, again, after you sit through this hour 20 minutes of just fucking garbage filth, it's hilarious that it ends with like the most chipper, upbeat, like positive narration imaginable.
It kind of reminds me of the Only Through Peace Can We...
Yeah, only through the elimination of violence
can we achieve world peace. It's giving off those kind of vibes.
Well, it's just like, it's so nonsensical because there's nothing. There's so many parts of this movie also when it felt like they were about to end it, because it would just be like some bit of violence would happen, and then you just get Leo Fong like staring off into the sunset, and then I'm like, is this the ending?
That's the problem, because the pacing is all over the fucking place.
Fuck pacing.
And that's why I thought an hour and 20 minutes, and it drags at some points. It's just like you kind of want it to end at certain points where you're just like, okay, is this the ending? No, okay, great. We have how much more? I didn't check the time or anything, and I mean, it's like not a huge waste of time, obviously, but it's just like you just at certain points you just want it to end.
No,
because it's just the same thing over and over again.
I wanted more scenes of
two guys walking in,
of two
hassling
random guys.
Leo Fong. Leo Fong punches them both.
Leo Fong says some
them both.
goober one-liner, and it murders two men.
I wanted him to make more dick jokes.
Oh, we got wolves, dude.
So many dick jokes. Like, Leo Fong wrote this movie with two other guys. 3 people.
It took 3 brains.
How adolescent brain do you have to be to fucking write those jokes?
I love it. I don't remember any other movie that has as many dick jokes squeezed into like 5 minutes as this movie does.
I know.
In
the first like 10 minutes of the movie.
In that first scene where she wants him to find the husband, the amount of dick jokes about dicks being hard and like
how he's a private dick and how this dick ain't cheap.
She's getting him excited and he's feeling rock hard and like just endless.
So stupid.
I don't mountain climb.
This movie's so stupid.
I'm sorry, we don't have any donkeys. What does that even mean?
Donkey shows. Because every spa's a prostitution ring, I guess, in San Francisco. I have no idea. They don't even show the spa people fucking anyone.
No, it's just
they're literally just massaging. Well, horribly, because you can tell they're not masseuses.
Oh, really?
I know, shocker.
They're just extras.
But they don't even show them attempting to have sex with anyone.
No, it looks like a very legitimate business.
Yep.
Other than the clients being able to smack the employees, I guess.
Well, that was MacDonald, okay? He's Mac Donald, so he can do whatever he wants.
He owns 50% of the drug trade. And
do you like how he got killed off camera? That was really cool.
It had to be part of the big bazoonga at the end.
It was done in the most awkward way, fucking humanly possible.
No, it was great.
Because in any other movie, you would see like just like a shadow of a person,
No.
or like a gun coming on screen, and like McDonald like reacting to
No.
it and then getting shot, right? So we have some suspense.
No.
Like, who killed McDonald? No, we just show his dead body.
We just see Leo Fong coming into the massage parlor with 2 cops there.
Dude, this movie is so.
Do you like the ending when they're doing the mugshot for the woman after,
And she tries to like tempt the guy.
and he's like, I'm sorry, ma'am. If I do that, it's hard time.
Again, they make another dick joke.
Hard time.
Another dick joke.
And they couldn't help themselves.
They couldn't help themselves. They had to do another dick joke. They just had to, okay? They just fucking had to.
Leo Fong had to wave it in our face at the end.
He couldn't.
Amazing.
Let's do Shitty to Pretty. Let's like rate this Leo Fong banger.
7 out of 10.
7. Yeah, 7's where I'm gonna go to. It wasn't like ridiculous enough to go like into that upper echelon of like 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Because it could have done way more. It's very childish and very much a fucking smooth brain watched a film noir and was like, I can do that.
I got this.
I got this. With no style, very little substance.
No substance.
Yeah, 0 substance, 0 style, and just tried to go for it.
I do also find it hilarious. So this movie, our big bad is Richard Norton, who, if you watch any 80s Hong Kong action movies, you've seen him before.
I actually like Richard Norton.
And it's funny because, like, okay, you put him in this movie, right? And I know Leo Fong is a meme, but he knows martial arts, right? And you think to yourself, okay, there's got to be a fight at the end with our 2 guys.
You would think that, yeah.
If you're making this movie and your main guy and your villain are both martial artists, you are going to have them fight at the end. But they do
you would think.
The most basic bitch sin of movies imaginable.
You would, honestly, yes, you would think that, but yeah, they just fucking blast him in the elevator.
He shoots him in an elevator.
I hate when they bring on martial artists and like just don't have them fight at all.
And
it makes no sense.
The ultimate sin of movies like this is doing that. Because it's one thing if you like put like, if your main baddie is like some fucking washed up actor who just like sits in a couch for the whole movie.
Yeah, well, I mean that would be fine.
Then it's like, okay, I know you're not going to make them fight,
right?
But come on,
like you put him on the fucking poster.
Well, you can't put Leo Fong on a poster.
You could.
Some people,
no one would want to see it.
Some people don't photograph well, okay? And Leo Fong's out there, representing average men.
Yeah, but they should put him on the poster.
Leo Fong?
No, yeah.
No one's going to see it.
They could.
No, he's not even like...
They could.
He's not even a geezer teaser.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. But...
If anyone doesn't know, geezer teaser is when you have like those cheap Redbox movies where they put like some actor who's got a name, but he shows up in the movie for like 5 minutes, but they put him on the poster to just lure you in like a little gullible fish.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even do that with Leo Fong because no one knows who the fuck Leo Fong is.
No.
No one's going to see his name and be like, oh, it's the new Leo Fong movie.
That guy, that Australian guy, was also an American Ninja.
Yeah.
Which is a good movie.
He's been in a lot.
He's been in he's been in like quite a few movies.
Yeah, if you watch any Hong Kong action movies from the 80s, you've seen him in those movies.
Yep.
And he was in this, and Leo Fong was like, I'm just going to shoot you in an elevator and have you take 5 years to die. And you know what? They should be happy that I'm not knocking off more points for that. I was still entertained.
Go watch The Millionaire's Express. That's a really good movie. I like that movie a lot. He's in that movie.
It's a lot of fun.
It's really, really good. Yeah, I don't know. There is a lot to like and like make fun of this movie for, but there's also a lot to just get annoyed and just like kind of I don't know. Like
That's the only thing that really annoys me. The rest of it, it's so stupid and childish that it's impossible.
It is
for me
very
to get,
childish, yeah. Like that. You're right. That's the only thing that like really got to me. I could find maybe some people would like find this very annoying and obnoxious and like terribly made, which.
It is terribly made.
Which it is. Which again, that is fair. But we've watched so many movies at this point that our brains are broken.
We just watched Death Nurse 2.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know how much better this is than Death Nurse 2?
That's also could be.
Oh my god!
So much better. At least stuff happens in this movie.
Oh man, Leo Fong is compared to Nick Miller.
Oh god, fuck Nick Miller.
Who pimped out his granny. Compared to that, Leo Fong, oh my god.
Literally pimped out his granny. If you haven't listened to
listen to the Death Nurse 2 episode.
The Death Nurse 2 episode.
If you want to know the lore.
Literally pimped out his granny.
Compared to that fucking hack job, Leo Fong is a genius.
At least Leo Fong didn't film another movie and cram it into this movie.
Yeah, have flashbacks to Low Blow in this.
I'm surprised they didn't with the fucking daughter dying. Like, just flashback to... I mean, we've only seen one other Leo Fong movie on the podcast, so...
2.
Oh, 2.
Kill Point. But Kill Point is not related to Low Blow.
No.
Kill Point's its own. But Kill Point has the father actor in this, who was trying to take over the drug stuff.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
He was in Kill Point. So apparently all these dudes just fucking... I don't know. They must be friends.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's enjoyable. It's entertaining. Just go make fun of it. It's hilarious. It's not like a good martial arts movie. It's not even a good action movie. But it is funny. It's hilarious, actually.
Yeah, the action is so exciting.
Which is funny because they have... I guess that ties into your sin, right? Like, they have all these martial artists... They don't do much.
Yeah, where is it?
Where's all the action? Why are all the action scenes stupid?
Why are they all like 5 seconds long?
Because we've had really terrible movies with like martial artists that like the action scenes are pretty cool.
Yeah.
But this one, there's just like nothing. It's just like he just kind of backhands them, like kind of like punches a little bit, and then that's over. And then most of them use guns. One of them turns into a ragdoll, so...
I love that.
That was beautiful. I wanted more of that.
That whole scene was art. That entire parking lot scene.
I love how they
actual
didn't explain anything.
Again, 2 guys.
Two guys approaching.
I like that in that scene, there's no dialogue. There's no questions asked. They just walk up to him when he goes to town and murders 2 people.
Exactly.
Like
he doesn't murder the guy with the foot. He just
they drive away,
so
he might as well just bleed out there.
He just blasts his foot off.
He just bled out, Will, after his buddy got yeeted off a roof and turned into a doll.
Oh, my foot. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, I can't believe
fuck you, man.
Fuck you, man. I think he even says cabron in, like...
Chinga tu madre.
Jesus Christ. Well, anyway, that was Bloodstreet. That's pretty much all we have to say about it, I think. Unless
as
you have
they
anything
say,
more.
Well, Will, as the great wise Leo Fong says, when it starts getting hot, go down to Blood Street.
Exactly.
That's a line in the movie. Mm-hmm. Does that make any sense?
No.
No.
1990s Blood Street. Because that's when this film is set, for some
2
reason.
2 years in the future.
For fucking no
reason. 2 whole ass years.
Who sets a movie 2 years?
What's the point?
I don't fucking understand that.
Because we have the whole...
I don't get it.
Well, it's just like they're doing that thing because how do we know that? Because the opening of the movie has a scroll like I'm watching Star Wars, and it just says in the year 1990 the streets are a war zone, and
years into the future.
And then you watch the movie and you're like, this is just a normal street.
You know why? Because they didn't have enough to pay for a future movie. Okay,
it's true.
They couldn't have like flying cars and shit like that, or futuristic guns,
or like or dress up the city to actually look, apocalyptic or whatever.
You said it 2 years in the future. You're good, baby.
Nothing
changes.
They didn't even need to set it in the future. They could have just been like, hey, this
is 1988.
This takes place.
Alternate reality. They didn't even have to do that. They could have just. You could take out the fucking scroll and you're good.
But the scroll had to introduce us to our main players of
Who fucking cares? They're introduced in the fucking movie.
Mr. Wong, Boyd, and MacDonald.
It doesn't even fucking matter, though.
It matters so much because you know why? Because the plot of this movie is so fucking stupid and impenetrable that somebody, when they made this, was like, you need to have a fucking opening scroll because no one watching this is gonna have any fucking clue what's happening. Because remember, the opening scroll even says what's gonna happen when they have the orgy shootout, because it even says, like, now McDonald's like house is gonna have this happen. You know why they put that in there? Because some producer or whoever was like, bro, none of this makes any fucking sense.
Some poor ass writer, that was one of the writers, I'm guaranteeing, that had to write that fucking scroll. So they got a credit. They're like, hey, can you explain this movie?
You're like, hey, you need to have a fucking opening that says who the fuck is in this, what they are, and what the fuck is starting with.
Some dude got paid to fucking write that scroll.
And they blast through it. It goes down fast. It's not like the Star Wars one where it's like
slow.
Fucking super slow-mo. No, it's like you better read fast, bitch. Anyway,
I think that's it.
That's it.
For They Mostly Come Out at Night and for Blood Street, this has been Will.
This has been Alex.
We'll talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.
They turned
You shot my fucking foot. You shot my fucking foot.
I shot his fucking foot.
You shot my fucking foot.
I shot his foot down on Blood Street. And then I talked to Femme Fatale.